Today's daily recap is for Thursday, April the 24th, 2025, for BTG Beyond the Gates. Tomas is meeting with Kat at the club. He is a member now because she goes, how does it feel to be? Or he says, I got to get used to being a member here now, right? And so, anyway, because we're wondering, how's he, all these people walking in, you got to be members to just stroll into the club, right? Unless there's a personal invite and somebody leaves your name or you coming in with somebody. So anyway, they're talking about Eva and Kat is saying something is off. I'm telling you. It's like I have this bad feeling that there's going to be some kind of calamity waiting that's going to befall our family. It's really that's a good sixth sense on that girl. She may not have all the answers, but her BS bad intention meter is going off like nobody's business, right? And she said, I have to find out what's really going on before she hurts my family. I feel it. So he goes, well, I can help if I can. So he goes, I can tell you everything I know about her. So he ended up telling her, yesterday when you were at karaoke with your family or the other day, she opened up, as I saw her here. No, I saw her wherever. I think he saw her at Uptown or wherever he saw her at. And she was talking about what you had. No, he saw her there at the club. What you had, and how she wishes she knew her father, she wishes she had a relationship with her father, and the woman that raised her um was a friend of her mother's who died. And she goes, yeah, Anna, because remember in that short wig she told her Anna. Why she did that I don't know. And she says, he goes, no, her name is Leslie. And she says, really? She goes, yeah, the woman who raised her, her name is Leslie. So she goes, that's interesting. And so, he really, that's the only information that he really could tell her that Kat didn't already know. Kat's still trying to order another spy cam to put in her mother's office that her mother won't be able to see. Because this one, she was a little box. She just sat on there. She's now getting ready to get crafty with it. But then Eva and Dana, they were having their little knockdown, drag out argument, which we knew Dana was going to win. She always does. She emotionally blackmails Eva because she goes, you lie to everybody else, but you don't lie to me. She goes, Psh, you started it. You're lying to me. And she's like, how am I lying to you? She said, because you told me you were going to meet the marketing team, right? Event planners. But I saw the message on your cell phone. It was Queen Bee Nicole telling you to jump and get over there to the club. She goes, you picked up my phone and read my messages? She said, yes, I did. So don't you talk to me about lying. And so what she's saying is, she goes, Mama, what you do, you're reckless. It's like you're intentionally trying to get our plan blown up. And then she goes, after, why would I do that, little girl? After everything I did to get you in that position. And Eva looked at her. Why would I try to ruin it? She goes, everything you did. What'd you do, Mama? Oh, here you go again, trying to accuse me from running that young lady off the road and somehow getting in a hospital and giving her an infection. See, how disrespectful are you to keep you should know me and know I'm not capable of hurting anybody. It's because she doesn't know you. And she knows you're very capable of hurting somebody, right? She probably killed her husband. So anyway, she goes, no, I can have a little fun. Sherry needed to say her goodbyes to Miss Nicole. And so she goes, but why, Mama? She doesn't even know. She doesn't even know a Sherry. Sherry's made up. She goes, can't I have a little fun with my revenge? Ted Hamilton. I mean, Ted, what's his last name? Ted, what is Ted's Richardson? Ted Richardson has ignored us all your life. He deserves it. Boy, is Eva gonna trip out. Sorry, y'all still got this coughing going on. She's gonna flip out when she finds out Ted didn't know a doggone thing about her, did not know that she even existed. Leslie lied about all of that. Wow. That is going to be probably what turns Eva against Dana. The fact that you told me my father rejected me all my life when he didn't know a thing about me, that I even existed. Well, okay, let's go to Doug. Oh, so Dana ends up saying, we're out of milk. I'm going to go get some milk. She leaves. Eva's doing some work on the laptop or sitting there, and there's a knock on the door. So she goes to the door and she opens it, and it's Cat standing right there. And Eva looks at her and said, how did you know? How do you know where I live? And Cat walks right by her and says, you ain't the only one that could go through a file. And she makes up this story that she wants to apologize to Eva the way she's been treating her, that she wants to call a truce because it is important to her parents. She goes, and I suppose I have been acting a little bitchy to you. And Kat says, oh, so you're going to own up to being a, you know, B to me. And she goes, a little bit. And she goes, so, I want to call a truce. And so she says, you, from day one, you've looked at me and you've looked at the way that I've dressed in you. She goes, yeah, your wardrobe is sus. But you know what? you know, I'm not gonna be commenting on that. I'm just saying it'll mean a lot to my parents if I initiate the peace. And that's what I'm doing here. And so she looked around and she said, um, where's your mother? The lady that takes care of you? And she said, oh, you mean Leslie? She's not here right now. She goes, oh, okay. See, now she got Eva to confirm it's Leslie, not Anna, right? Now, mind you, Kat actually gave away a lot when she was talking to Eva, and Eva didn't catch on because she's saying, look, I know you wish you had a relationship with your father. I know you feel like I have it all. You wish you had what I had because I've got Tomas, I've got a family that loves me, blah, blah, blah. She pretty much was telling Eva the things that Eva told Tomas in confidence, but Eva didn't catch it. And I thought, Cat, you dirty little dog. You come over pretending to make nice, all the while, pretty much still putting her down. So Eva hears her phone messages chiming in her room. She goes, my phone's in my room. I'll be right back. Kat now is looking around the apartment and she sees the picture that now is facing the front door. See, before that same picture of Eva and Dana was over on the end table the other side of the couch. Now it's on this table when you walk through the door. Before you walk in the living room, you see it. See, Ted would have seen it had it been there the other day. So Kat sees it and she takes out her phone and she's trying to take a picture of it, right? And as she's taking the picture, Dana walks through the door. See, Kat. And Tomas said, she goes, I'm going to go do some investigating. And Tomas says, well, how? And I think she said she was going to go over and talk to Eva or whatever, find out info. And he goes, is that safe? Because from what you're saying, you feel something bad is about to happen. I don't think you should go by yourself. And she goes, that's sweet, of you to be concerned, but now I'll be fine. See? Yeah. Girl, you ain't used to messing with street. You used to proper etiquette. These women, especially that one woman that walked through the door, will rip you to shreds, right? So Dana comes in and closes the door, and Kat hears it. She goes, and who are you? And Kat stands up and she turns around. Oh, I'm Kat. And Eva comes out the back room. And she was gonna say, she goes, oh, this is she was gonna say mother, but she goes, this is Leslie. And Leslie walks right up to Kat because one thing Eva was telling Dana how dangerous it is. She goes, you feel just because you put on a wig that you don't look like you. She goes, you look like you with a wig. you know? And so she's standing right in front of Kat. She's actually trying to prove a point to Eva. So she goes, she's Nicole Richardson's daughter. And so Leslie says, nice to meet you. And Chelsea's looking at her like, I've seen you before. And then Anna popped in her head with that short little red wig on, light brown, whatever, burgundy wig on. See, same face. So she goes, is everything okay, dear? She goes, yeah, I just need to go. So she walks right past and walks out the door. I was surprised they let her leave. I was like, okay, good, you got out of there, girl. And so Dana looks at Eva and said, what was that about? And she goes, I don't know. So at least she got out of there. Okay. Now let's go to Joey. Joey talks to Randy and tells him, okay, what you doing? He goes, what you mean what I'm doing? I'm doing the books. The tables are working fine out on the floor. They're running smooth. He goes, no, I got a call from a colleague of mine, bookies on a horse races, and you placed a bet for Doug McBride on a horse. What's that about? And so he told him the story. Doug won 50,000 on a scratcher. And Joey looks at him like, and he goes, he just knew it was a for sure thing on a horse race. And he lost it. He goes, he wanted me to bet it for him. And I did because he wanted to pay you off. He felt he was on this lucky streak. And of course, he lost it all. And Joey looked at Brandy. He says, all addicts feel that their tips are sure things. They all feel that way. And so he says, that's okay. I got plans for him. And he says, told him, he goes, I thought you were going to be out the rest of the night. He goes, oh, I was out. He said, I was with Vanessa McBride. And she's all in. He goes, wait, all into what? all into the deal I presented her. I'm gonna be bringing her cash to rehab some real estate. Mhm. And he goes, just like that. Vanessa just went into business with you just like that. He goes, just like that. He said, see, people like Vanessa like to live on the wild side. Well, I'm just as wild as they come, right? So Randy's just like, oh my God. So Vanessa and Doug finished their little tryst, which was an excellent roll in the hay. Um, Doug feeling like he's 17, and definitely Vanessa had a good time, but Doug was calling it short, and he was getting ready to leave, and she's just laying there, and they did have some kind of heart to heart about how they grown apart a bit, and blah blah whatever. So she's laying in the bed. He leaves, and she's like, he could have at least spent the evening with me, right? Spend some time with me. And he gone already. Can't do surgery, so where'd he go? Well, Doug goes to the club, and he's sitting in the back room. No games are being played. Randy comes back to the back, and Randy says, "What you doing here, Doug?" He says, "I'm just sitting here." He said, "Is Joey here?" He goes, "No, you just missed him. Joey just left because Joey came back, talked to Randy, and Joey left." He says, "I'm just here to see if I could be around all this and get up and walk away." So Randy looks at him and says, "And how you doing?" Goes, "Yeah, good so far. You know, it's only gonna take half a minute for him to be in the game. Come on now." So when Joey runs into Vanessa because Vanessa picks up the phone, calls somebody and says, "Hello, it's Vanessa. I want you to send the same guy that you sent last time." Okay. So I guess they were going to meet at Uptown. So she's sitting at the bar at Uptown, and in comes Joey. And she's startled a bit because I think she was even texting, like, trying to find the ETA on this guy. And Joey says, "So twice in one day, huh?" Or she goes, "Vanessa." And she looks at him, Mr. whatever his last name is. She called him by his last name for some stupid reason. "Twice in one day." And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "What are you doing here?" "Oh, I'm just sitting here, I'm waiting for someone." He goes, "Oh, your escort won't be coming." And she said, "Wait, excuse me?" He said, "The escort you ordered from the service won't be coming. I'm here instead." And she says, "I don't know what you're talking about." He goes, "Vanessa, I own the escort service that you use." And I saw your name in the car in my files or in the files. You ordered an escort for tonight. I canceled it. I decided to give you my personal attention. And she looked at him. She goes, "I can imagine what you must think of me." He goes, "What I think of you is you're a woman that really needs her needs met. And even after spending time with your husband, you still are looking for comfort. And I'm here to give it to you." Oh, she just looking like, oh my goodness, what? Oh, hey, right? So we'll see tomorrow if she goes to bed with Joey. It's gonna happen. Bottom line, we already know that, right? But oh, he's just getting her entangled into everything, right? Everything. I think, let me look. Nicole goes to see Laura, her first assistant, and lets her know how important she was. Laura told her, because she brought her some flowers, she goes, "Wow, you brought me flowers, twice in 1 week." And she goes, we just took out the ones you bought earlier in the week. And Nicole said, this is the first time I bought you flowers since you first, was admitted to the hospital. And Laura says, "No, the nurse's station said Eva dropped him off, and there's the card still right there." So Nicole picks it up and she goes, "Well, I assure you, they weren't me. I mean, what they weren't from me." She goes, "Even though I was thinking about you." And so Laura said, she says, "I should have known they weren't from you because lilies are my favorite." And she looked at the big bouquet of lilies that Nicole brought her, right? And so she goes, "Eva was probably just being conscientious, And so Laura says, "A good assistant anticipates, the needs of their boss, right?" And so anyway, Nicole was reassuring her that she still is number one in their heart. Eva's doing a good job, but she is not Laura, right? So anyway, that was a cute little conversation. Nothing else to scream and shout about. Haley is not pregnant. She's not pregnant. Bill was actually a little sad, right? He had gotten used to the idea that, he's going to be a father again. And he was actually looking a little forward to it. Um, but he says, "But so they were talking about it." And she goes, "Tell me really, are you happy or are you sad?" And he goes, "Well, I'm a little sad." He goes, "I just the thought of a little you and me running around here, I kind of like that idea." And so she says, "Well," he says, "but don't get me wrong. Me just enjoying you all to myself. We're free to travel, free to do whatever we want." She says, "I like that idea too." She says, "I want to have just some fun." And he goes, "Me too." He says, "Maybe I should cancel the college fund." She says, "No, leave it there." She goes, "Who knows? One day we just might decide to have a baby." And he goes, "Yeah, but I can't get too old." And she goes, "Bill Hamilton, if it's one thing you're not, is old." And I'm thinking, yeah, he is. Yeah, 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 he is. You and his daughter are gonna be pregnant at the same time. If that, I mean, that could be a definite reality. So anyway, they decided good not to write a baby in to the picture just yet. I'm surprised they didn't milk that for a little bit longer, but they decided to end that quickly. Thank God. I really didn't want to deal with it. But that's it, everybody. Let's see what Friday holds. I think Friday may be the start of the anniversary party. I think they may have a cliffhanger with Dana at that anniversary party tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. So I'll be back tomorrow with another daily recap for Beyond the Gates.